Hello everyone and welcome to your Mentornity tutorial for Thrive with Mentoring. My name is Magda and I am the Lausanne co-leader as well as a Basel mentor. So I'll try to walk you through Mentornity. You should be able to see on your screen right now the homepage of the tool that we are using for Thrive with Mentoring. This tutorial is divided in three sections. One will be around setting your account, setting up your profile, going through the mentee perspective would be the second part, and the third one doing the same from the mentor perspective. That should take us probably anything around 15 to 20 minutes. So bear with me. But first thing first, just to make sure that you can access the platform, you should have received an email, an invitation email from your chapter leader with a link that will allow you to set up your account details, so your login and your password. Just for information each time, moving on, if you want to access Mentornity, you can simply go onto the website, mentornity.com. For your information for today's tutorial, I actually have already an account with Mentornity. And for the sake of this exercise, I also will be using a dummy account where we can switch between mentor and mentee. All right. So let me log in. My login is with my password, with my email address and my password. And that's your landing page that you should be able to see. Depending on which chapter you are with, it will normally show Thrive with Mentoring and then the city of your chapter. So as I said at the beginning, I'm a mentor with Thrive with Mentoring in Basel, but I'm also co-leading Thrive in Lausanne, hence Thrive Lausanne, and I have a setup for mentor and mentee. Okay, so let's start with setting up your profile. If you go to your right top corner, next to the little envelope, there should be a space. I have already uploaded it with my picture, but if you haven't done it yet, if you go into View Profile, in the section here that is now highlighted by the arrow, you are able to upload your picture by clicking on that section. It will come up automatically. Also here, you are able to see your details around your email address, your phone number, mobile phone number if you have updated it, your country, city, and any other information you wish to add. Let's go back to the top right corner. In profile settings, you can actually edit all this information. And on top of that, you can add 5 descriptors to showcase your expertise, maybe areas of your professional experience or interest. You can select up to 5 descriptors. In my case, those are the ones highlighted in blue. I have one that I would actually like to change just to show you how it works. So I will replace tourism and add employee engagement. Once you have selected all of the descriptors, you can click on Save. Also in this section, let me just go back, Profile Settings. Also in this section, you can update any social network information. So if you have a website or a Twitter account, Facebook account, and so on. I have added my LinkedIn profile. And as you can see, my email address, and my mobile telephone number. I will explain in a few seconds why that can be useful. And now you can see that all the information I have updated is represented on this page, which is my main profile. So my main descriptors, my email address, my telephone number. Let's go back. Now my service settings, just for information, those have been set up for you, so there is no need to do anything. If you go to your account settings, this is a very important section where you can actually synchronize your personal professional calendar. So if you have a Google Calendar or an Outlook calendar, by clicking on the right button, you can synchronize it. And then all the time blocks where you are already busy will show up as busy in the calendar when setting up meetings with your either mentee or mentor, depending what role you have in Thrive with Mentoring. Very important information. Those time blocks will only appear as busy. No further information about your meetings will show up. So full privacy is ensured. You can as well, in this section, change your password moving forward, or set up the password that you wish to have. Notification settings are pretty important in case you want to ensure that you are not inundated with unnecessary emails. I recommend to keep it only to new meeting is created as enabled, and I receive a new message as enabled. The rest probably you can disable. So green means enable, white disable. Once again, that means that for any new meetings created in Mentornity by your partner, whether mentor or mentee, you will get an email notification to the main address you have provided, as well as in the situation if you receive a new message through Mentornity, because Mentornity can be used as a messaging platform, you will be notified by an email. Of course, if you wish to enable or disable any of those remaining functions, it's entirely up to you. Finally, general settings. Those have been already set up for you. As we are based in Switzerland, the time zone we operate is Zurich, and the language is English. Other than that, the only remaining option is to log out. So in that section, we have covered different points around setting up your profile, synchronizing your calendar, providing your contact details, and configuring your notification settings. Now, we will move to the other section of this tutorial, which is actually looking at the platform options from a mentee perspective or a mentor perspective. So if you can see on the left-hand side of the screen, I can actually jump between mentor and mentee, because this is a dummy account that was set up for this exercise. As mentioned in the opening, I'm actually a mentor in Basel, and to show you certain possibilities of the platform, I will be as well using this account. But let me go back to Lausanne. And so this is the information useful for all the mentees now. If you click on meetings, so on your left-hand side, there is a menu, meetings, feed, mentors, mentees, forms, and info. By the way, it is exactly the same menu from the mentors. However, the information that will show between those different sections might slightly differ. If you click on meetings, you are able to see all the meetings that have been set up. So if you haven't set up any meetings yet, of course, this section will be empty for you. But moving on, while you set up your meetings, it will populate with the meetings that have been scheduled. In this exercise, my mentor is Antje Bauer, and she's based in India. So you can see that our meetings will happen mostly early in the day. When I go to feed, so on your left-hand side in the menu, click on feed. That will represent all the meetings and all the activities that happen in the platform. The difference between feed and meetings is that you can see as well activities that were canceled. So all the meetings that were canceled and all the meetings that are still scheduled or meetings that took place are available in feed. Moving on, if I click on mentors, as I am showing you the mentee perspective, I am able to see the mentor I am paired with. And next to the name of my mentor, there is a list of sessions we should normally have over the course of the program, so 6 months. As per our calculation, there are roughly between 6 to 9 sessions that should normally happen. And so this is how we have configured the platform for you. And if you see, the first session, your first interaction should be around defining the mentoring goals and agreement of your mentoring contract. Well, to help you with the process, we have provided for certain meetings a bit of a description, so you can actually have a reminder of what's expected during that first session. And just so that you know, if you're for the first time in the system and you're looking at that page, it might look slightly different because instead of this white box here that you see, you will have something like that. You will have a turquoise box which will say create a meeting. As I have already created a meeting with my mentor and we've already agreed on our mentoring contract, you can see everything reflected on the screen here in the post-meeting questions. For all of you who have not yet been through the first meeting, that section will be actually your contract, which is an interactive form which you will be able to fill out. So if I click on edit, this roughly looks the way it would look for the first time for you. So that would be your contract rather than post-meeting questions. And if you remember from your kickoff meeting, the sections here reflect all the questions from the contract. So the purpose of the mentoring process, what the two of you, so mentee and mentor, expect from it, the frequency, how you would like to hold the meetings, online, face-to-face, or via phone calls, and so on and so forth. For the sake of this exercise, I have just put X's everywhere, but you are obviously invited to fill out that form. Right at the bottom, there is also a section to say, to ask you if you agree and accept the mentoring contract. So as I am now showing you the mentee perspective, I'm acting as a mentee. I'm asked to click on that. My mentor, at the same time, if she enters the platform, she will be asked to do the same. The next thing, you just have to save it. As I said, me and my mentor, Antje, have been through that meeting already, and I can see that Antje has agreed to our contract terms. In addition to that, you can take, after each meeting, your meeting notes. This is an interactive section, as you can see. Excuse me. Sorry about that. And as we covered in our kickoff meeting, those notes can be either public or private. So what does it mean? That means that if you would like to make a note to yourself from the meeting, you can make it visible just to yourself if it's private, or visible to your mentor if you click on public. Obviously, after you've entered your notes, you can save them. An additional helpful information is that in any other meeting, except for the first one, where the post meeting questions represent actually the contract, you can take notes about your meeting to come. So how to prepare for the meeting, what you plan to cover in the next meeting. So let me show you that. If I go back to Mentor and select a different session, that session was already created for us. Post-meeting questions here have your objectives of the meeting. What were the objectives of your meeting? What were the learnings? What was the most helpful contribution for your mentor? What are your action steps until the next meeting? Specific objectives and topics for the next meeting, and the next meeting date and time. And again, as you can see, it's an interactive form which helps you keep track of what you've done and how to prepare for the next session. On top of that, you can take any additional notes, which, as I said earlier, you can make public or private. So let me show you quickly how to schedule an actual session. So if you go to, let's say, mentoring session number 7, you click on Create Meeting. Then you can see my calendar and the calendar of my mentor. And you can see that I have not synchronized my calendar. However, I know that Antje has. All the time slots I'm looking at the moment are available. So I know that she's free. If you click on date, you have a new pop-up window. I will try to schedule the next session with her on the 19th, on Thursday. Okay, now I know that actually she's already busy in the morning. That's the turquoise time slot. So I need to select a time slot that she's available. So 11 o'clock. And by default, the sessions here are set up to 60 minutes. If you want to increase, you can just change it by clicking on the timer. Location, well, Antje is in India. I am in Basel in Switzerland. So we will do WhatsApp call. And save. What you can see now, the meeting has been set up, because if I click on session number 7, I have it reflected here. But I also know that Antje has received an email to inform her that as a mentee, I have set up another meeting. Now, the only difference between different sessions among those 9 is the first one is the one that asks you to set up your contract. The session number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are standard, and there is not much of a difference between them. Session number 7, 8, and 9 are at your discretion in case you want to have more than just 6. And on top of that, session number 9, actually, we will be asking you to fill out a post-program feedback form, which you will be able to find in the forms section on your left-hand side. So, just summary, under mentor, you're able to see the mentor you're paired up with, and you are able to set up different sessions, create notes, and fill out the post-meeting questions. One other very important information when you actually enter the scheduled session, which is about to take place, when you look at the top ribbon here, you have 3 options: is to open a video call, send direct message, or open WhatsApp. So if you are already in the meeting, it acts a little bit like Zoom. You can contact your mentor or a mentee via WhatsApp, and I'm just showing you what it looks like. However, it will take you to my private WhatsApp, which I would like to disconnect straight away. You can actually open a video call or send a message. Obviously, I don't want to wake up Auntie who's in India right now, but she should normally get a pop-up information that there is a message for her. So from mentor section, we move to mentees. And as I told you earlier, I am showing you the mentee perspective right now. So if I am a mentee and click on the mentees, in this window here, I should be able to see all the mentees that have already set up their accounts with their profiles, so their pictures and personal information they're happy to share. But as it is a dummy account, you cannot see it. Let's move to the next section, which is forms. Under that section, you see the previously mentioned feedback survey after the program completion. So again, it's an interactive form that allows you to provide feedback about Thrive with Mentoring program, the 6 months journey with us. And finally, the info section is the section we would like to leverage for sharing any resources. For now, what you can see is interactive PDF here, Mentee Guide to Thrive, as well as Mentee Platform User Guide for Mentornity. So if you click on that, you should be able to open documents that we normally store on Dropbox and get some extra reading about mentoring from a mentee perspective. So I have now just walked you through Mentornity from a mentee section. So we covered meetings, mentors, feed, forums, mentees, and info. Now we go to the mentor perspective, which I will show you from my Basil account, where I'm actually a mentor. So if I go to meetings, I can see an overview of all the meetings scheduled with my mentee, Helena. If I go to feed, I can see, as I mentioned earlier, all the meetings that happened and also the ones that were canceled that we had with Helena. If I click on mentees, I can see mentee. In my case, that's the profile. Unfortunately, Helena hasn't had a chance to set it up. Similarly to the earlier shown mentee perspective, I can see different sessions. And similarly, I can set up the meetings, provide meeting notes, and so on. If I click on forms, it's exactly the same thing. I see my feedback survey. Eventually, when I click on mentors, I see all the mentors in the Basil cohort who have updated their profiles and all the details they have published. So their descriptors, contact details, I can send them a message. And finally, in the info section, I can see additional resources, which is the Thrive Mentor Guide and Mentor Platform User Guide, which is Mentornity User Guide. I think this actually covers all the information for this tutorial. I will just quickly remind of what we have covered. So we've been through setting up your profile in the right top corner. And then on the left-hand side, we have covered the mentee perspective. We went through meetings, mentors, how to actually set up your individual sessions, the feed, forms, the mentees that normally I should be able to see, but as I said, it's a dummy account, and info. Finally, if you're a mentor, we covered similarly all the sections. So meetings, feed, mentees. So in my case, that's the mentee I'm paired with, as well as setting up different meetings, providing post-meeting notes, and filling out the Thrive with Mentoring contract. Available forms. So here normally you should be able to see a link to the form. Mentors that are available within the cohort, and additional info, so resources that we share with you. That is all from my side. I hope it's been useful. In case of any questions, I invite you to contact your chapter leaders, who will be able to assist you and walk you through if there are any other challenges. Otherwise, you can always send an email to hello@thrivewithmentoring.com. That's our global support email address. I wish you a great journey. Enjoy the program, and hopefully you have fun. Thank you. Bye.